Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? What is up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, Devea? What's up, my friend? Yo, I didn't get my lights on. Hold on, guys. Better. Better. There we go. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm off this morning. Um, you talking about from the startup video? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Good morning, guys. It's good to see you. It'll be day 3 of Planescape Torment. So more dialogue reading for you today. And of course, video gaming news as we always do, right? So I mean, other than that, I just hope everybody's doing very well. We're halfway through the week, right? Halfway through the week today. So working for that weekend, baby. And I don't know. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Devea, what's up? What's going on? What happened? What happened, my friend? Go ahead and hop into this video gaming news segment. Yeah, let's go. What's up, Devea? Good to see you, buddy. Gotham Knights features the biggest video game version of Gotham City ever. Cool. What Arkham? Wasn't Arkham Knights like Batman's versions of Gotham pretty big? I haven't played those. I've seen a little bit of it. I want to play them. I own all of them because I want to play them. Pennywise. What? What is it? Are you going to divulge? You going to divulge that info to me? You go Penny, Wise, middle name. Perfect. Wait, is that Madeline? Is that how that's pronounced? Madeline? Madeline? I think it's Madeline. Yeah. I'm guessing that's from something, huh? How about the 3-head here? How about 3-head? What's that from? We talked about this yesterday, so I'm not going to dive into that. Oh, for real? Like happy crying, I'm guessing, right? Oh, it's a ringer song? Oh, okay, right on. Solid. Well, that's cool, man. Right on. Got him in the fields, did it? Winger song. Oh, okay. Right on. No, it's cool, dude. That's just people can spell. It's just that's just inherently the way that Twitch chat works. Cool. Yeah, I'm not familiar, but oh, okay, right on. That's cool, man. Nice. Very neat, very neat. So I'm guessing he's down with that, yeah? He's cool with that name? Yo, gamer, what's up, my friend? How was work yesterday, dude? Xbox reveals more games coming to Game Pass in June. Take a look at that. Ooh, Xbox Cloud Gaming is getting mouse and keyboard support and latency improvements. There we go. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, cool. That's awesome, Devay. Cool. Good news. Good news. How much longer do we have until Bebe will be here? If you don't mind me asking. Madeline, as it were. Oh, that's cool. That's cute. That's cute. Yeah, this is probably gonna. I'm not gonna jump into this because I think this is what it's gonna talk about. I'll pull it up. We'll just put them back to back to make sure. Um, but I think that's gonna give us the same news. We talked about this. Hopefully, this will be back on Steam very soon. I'm not gonna dive into this. We've talked about this a lot. It depends on everybody's own situation, you know. Yeah, gamer. That's what she. Yeah, that's what Devea was talking about. Yep. Yep. Oh, Madeline. Is that what it is? Is that how it's pronounced? Madeline or Madeline? Madeline. Madeline. I'm not familiar with the song. Madeline. I was putting too many syllables in it up there. Yeah. Yeah, because of the way it was spelled up there. Yeah. Madeline, because there was an extra L in it up top, right? Um, Madeline. Nice. Yeah, that's cute. I like it. That's cute. That's cute. That's cute. Cool. Steam Deck proves game consoles don't need walled. Uh, yeah, we'll see what that's about. I think it has to do with allowing you to put different kinds of OSs on it and stuff like that, which is cool. That is cool. Yeah, that's cool, Devea. Nice, man. I'm glad you guys got that all figured out. Nice little story. Nice story. Oh, I'm a little bit beat up, man. I went and got the last of my touch up done yesterday and everything, and it kind of wore me out, man. It wasn't even a very long session or anything, but man, I'm a little bit beat up. Kind of knocked me down yesterday. Oh, Star Stable launches on Epic Games. We'll see what this is. I don't know if we're going to come across it. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it. Uh, if you're not familiar, if you don't recall, today I think is the last day for. Where's it at? Where's their free games at? For Superland. Yeah, today's the last day for to get Superland for free before they give away Game of Thrones as a board game and Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 for free starting tomorrow. Okay. Fall Guys actually became free yesterday as well. So maybe we'll play some Fall Guys coming up sometime soon. Maybe. I don't know. But go get your free Superland game. The game's really cool. I already started playing it. It's really neat, and has been highly um, regarded from Pinky within our community for a long time. And I'm glad I'm finally playing it. It's a really cool game. Playthrough's kind of on hold for a second, but we'll finish it up very soon. We already read about this. Yeah, we read about this as well. This apparently had a lot to do with Diablo Immortal getting delayed. Which, in my opinion, should have seen their stock rise. You know what I mean? But they love their mobile games out in the Eastern Hemisphere. Ooh, Cherry MX low profile switches now come with a stealth option. Check that out. That's cool. Let's take a quick look at this. 15 biggest games still missing in action after. They're referring to this as E3 2022. What they should have just wrote was like after 2022's gaming showcases, because E3 didn't actually happen. So that's a bad way to title this, but we'll look at it. E3 literally did not happen this year. E3 is a specific uh show, and it did not happen this year. So I hate that they wrote it like this. Shame on Games Radar. That confuses people, man, and that's bad. Blockchain games see a drop in users and volume. Let's take a look at that. Let's pivot right here. Let's go into our other search real quick. Read about it, read about it, read about it. PlayStation is the latest company to confirm it won't attend VGC. Okay, let's take a look at that. Skull and Bones release finally looks likely following second ellipses. We'll take a look at this as well. That's Ubisoft's like pirate game. I'm not going to dive into this. Video game industry proves once again to be recession proof. I would say I don't think the video game industry is recession proof. Okay? What I will say is that it is a bit more resilient than some other like entertainment areas. Um, because of what it provides, and I think what this is kind of referring to is uh, it held very strong during all the pandemic stuff, right? And one of the reasons it held so strong is because people were kind of quite often quarantined to being at home, and what it did was provide people a way to still engage with other people without having to be face to face, right? So that's one of the things that, as a form of entertainment, video games provide that many other forms of entertainment don't. So in that aspect, yeah, I think video games provide, and the fact that also they're much more of an immersive kind of entertainment, right? Um, they've become very popular because of that. So they tend it there's no doubt video games have become very popular. Therefore, as a form of entertainment, much more resilient in regards to any kind of um, recession or downturn of the economy, things like that. But totally recession proof, I don't think so. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, video games are not a need, they are a want, right? The Scottish cycle lane is harder than any video game. Street in Scotland that offers a real life version of Paperboy's zigzag cycling routes. What? All right, we'll take a look at this real quick. I was just talking about Paperboy the other day. That's wild. Activision Blizzard shareholders vote for public harassment. Ellipses. We'll see what that's about. I'm afraid to dive into this because of where it will go politically, but we're going to take a look at it. Random mode time. Oh, baby, we got that tentacle too. Squid. Let's go. Get your random mode in there, guys. That emote is so ugly, dude. Good night. Get your random mode. Try to get that sub. Try to get your free sub. Man, we see this kind of stuff all. Why, dude? All right, so junior driver for Red Bull suspended after racial slur during an online video game session. Here we go. All right, last page. Let's see what we get. This is just about the unionization happening. We've already talked a lot about that. Uh, PlayStation will be avoiding Gamescom. I think we might already kind of be talking about this a little bit. Yeah. So I won't keep that one up. Okay. We've already got an article up, so we won't dive into it twice. Yeah, again, look, NetEase delayed the Diablo Immortal release in China, and they've seen their stock kind of plummet from it. In my opinion, it should have made their stock go up. What a terrible game. Because of the pay to win aspect. I think it's a very well developed game from what I understand, but the pay to win skew of it is terrible. And what it means for the gaming industry is terrible. So we've talked about it enough. I'm not going to get into it. All right, let's get into these articles. Um, Valve's Steam Deck makes a brilliant case against walled gardens. Rather than boxing you into its own store, Valve's portable gaming system lets you install software from anywhere, and it's glorious. Yeah, it's kind of an open hardware situation, right? It's not locked. Like, um, in the form of being able to put Windows on it, you can put Linux on it. There's all kinds. You can put all kinds of different software on this thing to run different programs and things like that. Much to the same effect of like going and buying an unlocked telephone or something that you can use with any service provider. You know, like kind of the same kind of concept there, right? The Steam Deck is a portable gaming system that breaks the biggest rule of gaming systems. Yeah. Unlike practically every major game console that's come before it, the Steam Deck from PC gaming giant Valve doesn't lock users into one ecosystem. While Valve's own Steam store is the default way to buy and play games, The Steam Deck also lets users install whatever software they want on the device's Linux-based operating system. And Linux is very, very good for that to build a type of device that you want to allow people to use lots of different types of software on it. Linux is very good base for that type of system. The experience has been liberating. In recent weeks, I've gorged on weird indie creations from itch.io, classic games from GOG, and free games from the Epic Game Store. I've used PlexAmp to stream my personal music collection in place of in-game soundtracks, and I've used Vivaldi to browse the web in the Steam Deck's desktop mode. You don't have to use your Steam Deck this way, but just knowing that it's an option makes the device more capable and personal. The tech industry is filled with companies that seem deathly afraid of this model, either because they don't trust their users or don't want to risk weakening their own ecosystems. Apple is the worst. By taking the opposite approach, Valve is proving that open platforms aren't so catastrophic, and it elevates the Steam Deck from yet another gadget into the most exciting consumer electronics device in years. How Steam Deck sideloading works. Most people will never need to venture beyond the Steam Deck standard menu system, which offers a simple way to buy and play games from the Steam Store. Valve's PC game catalog remains unparalleled, so you could be a satisfied Steam Deck user without dipping into its desktop mode. But if you click the Power menu option in Steam Deck settings and select Switch to Desktop, that simple interface falls away, revealing the desktop of an Arch Linux computer. This is where the Steam Deck's possibilities really open up. See right there. The desktop mode has its own app store based on a popular Linux software repository called Flatpak, letting you install apps such as Chrome, Discord, Slack, and Spotify. The Steam Deck also comes preloaded with Mozilla's Firefox browser, which you can use to install additional software from the web. Valve has always let users list non-Steam software in their Steam libraries. That capability carries over to the Steam Deck as well. That means you can install a game from the desktop, add it to Steam, and then launching it through the Steam Deck's simplified menu system instead of returning to the desktop each time. Steam Deck users have already taken advantage of this system in clever ways. An app called Heroic Games Launcher, for instance, helps make Epic Game Store games playable on the Steam Deck, including ones made for Windows, while a companion tool called Heroic Bash Launcher automatically adds those games to the Steam interface. Another program called EmuDeck provides a similar service, but for classic console game emulators. You can even run alternative game launchers from desktop mode, effectively replacing the stock Steam interface. Meanwhile, Steam Deck enthusiasts are steadily trying to one-up each other with new tricks for the hardware, which they've used to watch VHS tapes, digitize vinyl records, and take pictures with a Game Boy camera. Nice. Even if you never want to do those things, the fact that you can just adds to the Steam Deck's charm. Extra safeguards. Working around the Steam interface isn't always easy. Navigating desktop mode with the Steam Deck's touchpad and on-screen keyboard is pretty cumbersome. And I couldn't get some games to work without searching on Reddit for hidden setting tweaks. I've probably spent as much time tweaking and tinkering with the Steam Deck as I have actually playing games. But that's the point. For most people, Valve's default interface and store will be the best way to play games on the Steam Deck. And it'll work just like any other portable gaming system. The difference is that Valve trusts users who want to take things a step further and gives them the tools to do so. The Steam Deck also has extra safeguards in place for users who try to push things too far. By default, users can't add unofficial software repositories to the desktop without disabling the read-only section of the Steam Deck storage. Valve doesn't recommend this, but also provides instructions on how to do it. And for users who seriously screw things up, the company provides a recovery image to restore the Steam Deck to its original state. This is especially helpful given that users can swap out the entire Steam Deck operating system for a different one, such as Windows. Doing things differently. Speaking to IGN last year, CEO Gabe Newell called the Steam Deck's $399 starting price very aggressive and painful, suggesting that the hardware isn't widely profitable. Instead, Steam Deck will make its money from game sales, just like other consoles. As such, Valve could easily have used the Steam Deck to lock players into its own ecosystem. It could have opted not to include a desktop mode and withheld instructions on how to lift its read-only restrictions. Could have discouraged users from installing different operating systems and made its recovery tools unavailable to the public. Console markers have long insisted that such restrictions are necessary for the good of their platforms. In 2020, for instance, Microsoft argued that because console markers sell their hardware at or below cost to create a market for their software, they shouldn't have to accommodate third-party app stores or sideloading. Similar arguments have spilled out into the broader mobile app business as well. In response to a lawsuit from Epic Games, Apple has claimed that its investments in the App Store wouldn't be feasible if it couldn't force developers to use its in-app purchase mechanisms. Some defenders of Apple's viewpoint, such as Daring Fireball's John Gruber, have argued that iOS is more like a game console than a PC platform. So it's all more remarkable that Valve ignored all this hand-wringing and made the Steam Deck a haven for tinkerers. Instead of trying to shut out the competitors, the company is betting that its own store will prevail on quality. If the Steam Deck successful as it appears to be so far, it could upend. I think that was written a bit odd. I think it was if the Steam Deck is to be successful as it appears to be so far, it could upend years of conventional wisdom around walled gardens, become a threat to other consoles in more ways than one. Absolutely. And I love seeing that they're doing something different, right, than what has become the stereotypical norm regarding consoles. And I've even promoted, we've had people come in and go, can you help me guide me towards a gaming PC? And I'm like, well, first of all, are you just looking to be playing games on your PC? Do you actually need the utility of what a laptop is going to be offering you as a PC, or are you just trying to play games? Because if so, have you looked into a Steam Deck? Because everything that I've read, I haven't gotten my hands on a Steam Deck yet, but man, it seems like a really, really good device. The more I find out about it, the more I read about it, it really, really seems like Valve has really nailed what the Steam Deck is, and as far as handheld consoles go, I mean, we're talking the Switch, right? And you're not going to be playing PC games on there. There might be games that are on both platforms, PC and Switch, but as far as PC consoles go, Steam, I feel like they nailed it. I had concerns in the first place regarding the quality of the hardware, what it was going to be like to try to get things fixed, and how easy it was going to be to get replacement parts and get buttons fixed. And I mean, they made it to where it doesn't void warranty to open up the device yourself. There are a plethora of Valve is not the only one that manufactures the replacement parts. They made it very easy for other companies to manufacture the replacement parts. So they're cheap to get. They're easy to get. Apparently, it's very easy to replace any kind of buttons that have worn out, the joysticks, all kinds of things like that. And they've got good warranties that come with it as well. It really looks like the more I find out about the Steam Deck, the more impressed I am with what Valve has done here. And I don't necessarily need one, but I wouldn't mind getting my hands on one either, just because it really seems like they nailed it right here. It really does. Again, I mean, if you're somebody that's on the go, and again, I mean, the Steam Deck can actually, I mean, you can hook the Steam Deck up to a monitor and everything as well. So, but if you are on the go, you don't necessarily, because I mean, let's be honest, it's a much more mobile type of easy to use mobile device for gaming than a laptop is. Having to pull out your laptop and get situated with it and get it running and everything to play games, pull a mouse out, because usually using like a mouse pad and everything is not all that compatible or all that easy to do when you're on the go. I would say that looking into a Steam Deck is a really good option if you don't necessarily need a PC outside of anything other than just for gaming on. Take a hard look. It really looks like Valve has nailed it right here, and they're continuing to improve, um, roll out improvements for the Steam Deck as well. For they're listening to the community for the things the community is saying. Hey, we could really use this kind of implementation for they've already listened to the community that has has been sent their Steam Decks as far as like profiles for each individual game, things like that. It's good stuff, man. It looks like they're really killing it, doing a good job. Star Stable launches on Epic Games. Swedish game Star Stable Online today launches in 15 languages on Epic Game Store, the digital storefront and platform for the distribution of PC and Mac games. I've never heard of this game. A competitor to Steam, though, the Epic Game Store users can create their own profile and purchase and play games from a range of different genres. The launch on the store is part of Star Stable's strategy of increasing its distribution channels, providing its target audience with additional options of how they can discover and engage with the product. With over 1 million downloads of Star Stable Online on mobile already, the game experience and product will be the same on Epic Games as it is via the official website. Users will have access to the regular launcher and their accounts as normal, with SSO categorized as a free-to-play game on the Epic Store. To enjoy the full game experience, players are required to sign up for the monthly subscription, which will be highlighted in the product description. Therese Forcell Lagerstem, Communications Director at SSE, says Epic Games is an excellent platform for us to expand our reach to potential audiences. The Star Stable brand has a huge fan base across the world, and this launch helps us to keep sharing the game's values. We always keep players at the heart of what we do, and we know being on Epic Games will help us to further grow our wonderful fan base. I mean, yeah, one of the things I want to bring up here, though, is Epic Game Store users can create their own profile and purchase and play games for a range of different genres. Yeah, they can create their own profile. What Epic Games doesn't allow yet, though, and I think that Epic Games is getting there, is you can't flex like you can on Steam. Steam has so much more to offer in terms of your ability to customize profiles, and there's just a lot of Mamzelle, what's up, my friend? How are you? How did the rest of work go yesterday? Um, Customized profiles, the ability to like rate games, and I mean, there's all kinds of things that I think we've read that Epic is working their way there, but they really need to push to get there to get people more accepting of what the Epic Game Store has to offer. For one of the reasons that people love Steam so much is outside of the fact that Steam has been a part of us as PC gamers for so very long, is a lot of the really nice options that Steam provide us, right? But I have no idea what this game is. Is anybody familiar with this? I'm sorry. It is just too cute. Good night. Um, Give me the wiki, man. Where's the wiki at? I just need the wiki. I don't know if I can do all these pictures this morning. It's just a little too cute for this. I haven't had enough Java for this cuteness. I haven't had enough coffee for this amount of cuteness this morning. You want to give me like a horror game, whatever, I'm good. But this is like nightmare fuel right here. All right, give me this. Oh, dude, I can't even read this. What is this? Can I get like the English version? Oh, shenanigans. Oh no, we're just gonna have to go to their page, dude. All right, what is this? You guys ready for this? What is this? All right, dude. What is this game? What is this game? Ride into an exciting world. Welcome to Jorvik, an enchanting island full of endless adventure. Together with your very own horse, you become part of a magical story as you explore a fantastic world. From the saddle, care for and train your horses. Ride, race, and care for your very own horses. Yo, I love horses. Jorvik is home to a huge variety of different horses, from beautiful real life breeds to spectacular magical steeds, each with its own unique look and personality. I actually really love paints. If you know what a paint is, play with your friends, solve quests and mysteries. It's like a horse raising, riding adventure MMO, something like that. Okay, well, the more you know, man. I had no idea it was even a thing. Cherry MX low profile switches now come with, so apparently it's been a mobile game for a while, and now it's on Epic as well. You know, that's why I looked it up. It came across as an article. It's platforming over to PC through Epic. The more you know. I had no idea it was a game. Sorry, it's just a little bit of cuteness overload for me, man. I enjoy cute. It's just, God, not enough coffee for that much cute yet. Cherry MX low profile switches now come with stealth options. Mechanical keys that won't alert the neighborhood to your gaming. Yeah, but what's the point then? If you're not waking up your neighbors to the clickety clackety of your keyboard, dude, then why even use a mechanical keyboard? I mean, am I right, chat? When it comes to mechanical keyboards, the switches used can make all the difference. Not only do they have different fills, they can also sound very different. And even just the build quality can vary. Keyboards are very much a personal preference call. Plenty of people choose to make the call with Cherry's brand of switches. Turns out that Cherry MX Ultra Low Profile series are adding another option to help appease many of their fans. According to Tech Power Up, the new switches are said to be tactile while offering no audible click. This could be a huge. I like the click. I like the clickiness. This could be huge for. What I will say is, I'll read the rest of this and I'll give you my thought on this. This could be huge for office workers or streamers who are looking to have a less noisy space to work in while still pounding away on their favorite Cherry keys. These new keys are said to be more similar to Cherry's MX Brown series of switches. This means they should be much quieter than the standard switches used, which were closer to the MX Blue. These new keys are said to feel the same with the tactile actuation fans are looking for, but with less of the noise. Sounds like a win-win. Of course, these are still gamer keys, so they still support RGB lighting. Due to the low profile nature of these switches, the RGB is located directly under the key, shines through translucent materials. They even come in programmable options. This isn't the only upgrade we've seen Cherry make to its switches in 2022. Earlier this year, Cherry sneakily announced that all its low-profile RGB mechanical switches had their gold cross point contactor improved. This is boosted to double the amount of actuations the product can guarantee over its lifetime. Nice, making for a more reliable and longer-lasting keyboard. Given these new quieter keys are still low-profile RGB mechanical switches, we can only assume they'll also have the improved contactor. Given many of our favorite gaming mechanical keyboards use Cherry switches, I'm curious to see which ones will be adopting these new quieter, low-profile keys in the future. Yeah, nice. I mean, I love, I love the click. I don't need it to be wildly loud or anything, but I like a little bit of audible feedback in my keyboard. I like mechanical keyboards. I always have. Um, and I like to be able to feel, that tactile, that feel of the feedback, right? The feedback of the you know the press and depress and everything within the keyboard as well. It's important to me. I like that. I like to sense it, both feel and with my hearing as well. And what I will say is, as a streamer and everything, and just as a game player, when I play, what I don't enjoy getting into games with other people and hearing their click, 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 and I'm like, oh, dude, please, you know what I mean? Which is another one of the reasons that I use background noise suppression software on my microphone, because I don't think you guys want to hear all my clicking whenever I'm typing, And I don't think other gamers want to hear all my clicking when I'm typing. Some people it might not bother. And not every keyboard is the same. You know, some of them are very loud, some of them are mid range, some are softer. It just depends on what you're working with. And, but I mean, I've gotten into games with people where it's hard to hear people talk because of how loud their keyboards are. You know, um, whenever they're like WSAD and stuff like that and hitting spacebar, it's just incredibly loud and picked up by their microphone. I'm like, I have to mute them because I can't really deal with it. It's just very annoying to me. So, like a hybrid, yeah. Um, Again, for me, I enjoy a traditional mechanical keyboard. I really do, but it's important to me to be able to not have other people have to deal with what I enjoy. Yo, Tabo, what's up, buddy? And I mean, I've used all different kinds. I've used non-mechanical. I've used low profile. Old school mechanical, new mechanical, all kinds of different switches. You know what I mean? I'm great, buddy. Thanks for asking. I'm a bit beat up today. I had my last session yesterday, which was just a bit of overall touch up for the torso tattoo stuff. So I got kind of touched up everywhere and so just a little bit worn out and but it's nice, man. It looks good and but it just kind of wore me out. It wasn't even a very long session, but I think just the fact that I was kind of hit all over with touch up a little bit everywhere, it just kind of got to me. So I came back yesterday and I just like laid in bed, man, and I was just I'm still just kind of beat up a little bit. Well, I think some of that. Yeah, sounds good, Tabo. It's good to see you, buddy. Yeah, we'll see you later, dude. Yeah, get some rest, man. So, Mamzelle, I would say maybe look at different kinds of noise suppression software because my microphone is literally like right here's my camera. Right below my camera is my keyboard, and directly right here next to my camera to the left is my mic. They are right next to each other, all of them. And I don't think you guys can ever hear me type. I'll type right now. My microphone doesn't pick up anything. It didn't pick up anything. It didn't show it was picking up anything. Did you hear anything? And this is a true loud mechanical. Here, I'll turn my noise suppression off. Hold on. Check it out. I'm telling you, mine is right over, like right next to mine as well. It's like right over it, Mamzelle. I'm telling you. I'm turning my noise suppression off. Look. Noise suppression on. Nothing. So you might try out some different noise suppression software. I'm just showing you the difference, right? Because my mic, without my noise suppression software, picks up everything. You heard that, right? So I use NVIDIA Broadcast. But there are different ones out there. I think you just need to maybe try out some different things. I don't know. And NVIDIA Broadcast is used for different things. I only use it for noise suppression on my mic. That's it. Because I tried out some different things, and that was the one that I found the most useful for me. And so, because again, my setup here is like kind of, I'm dual. I've kind of sectioned off my living room a bit to use part of it as my streaming setup. So sometimes I've got family members in here, stuff like that. And I needed something. It wasn't just for not picking up like keyboard and stuff. It's for not picking up family members, any kind of other things that are going on. You know what I mean? And I don't know. NVIDIA broadcast has been pretty good for me. So again, my mic is literally like right next to my keyboard as well, and hopefully you were able to tell. I could see my microphone levels going way up whenever I turned my noise suppression off. So hopefully that gave you a taste of how good of a job it does. I love it. I mean, I was even whenever I was last year, we had some construction going on. They were replacing the siding on our place here. Yeah, yeah, I would recommend. It's free. It's free. It's just in video broadcast. Again, they promote it as something that you can use for all. For it's got like things for your camera. It's a streaming software thing or whatever. But you can just use it for your microphone. That's it. That's all I use it for. But I love it. I love it for my microphone. It does a great job. Obviously, I mean, you heard how clicky it was, right? And then whenever I turned it back on, you can't hear anything. What I will say is it is so powerful sometimes. Like that's one of the reasons I have to be very loud. I need to make sure that I'm being very throaty while I talk because I have seen occasions where like especially if I'm really tired, I'll get up in here and I'll be like talking kind of soft and or if I because sometimes when I laugh I'll get a little bit high pitch and the mic won't pick me up. It's because of that noise suppression software. But what it does offer me as far as not picking up all the clickiness and a lot of the other background stuff, I love it. I love it. So maybe check it out. Well, this is really cool, man. Cherry does a great job. Cherry does a great job. Um, if I can remember, if you're not able to find it or very easily or anything like that, let me know. You can just grab it off of Nvidia's site though. Yeah. Um, 15 biggest games still missing in action after E3. I hate this title. I hate this title. For a site called Games Radar, right? They're going to say the 15 biggest games still missing in action after E3 2022. E3 didn't even happen. And this is going to confuse people that aren't familiar, aren't really up to date with everything surrounding the gaming industry. This is terrible for them to be doing. What they should have done is said the 15 biggest games still missing in action after summer 2022 gaming showcases or something like that. They should not have said this. E3 did not take place. I hate this. We'll take a look, but shame on Games Radar for doing this. The biggest showcases of E3 2022 have now drawn. E3 did not even happen, dude. E3 is a specific tech gaming showcase that hasn't even really happened for the past 3 years. Anyways, it drives me crazy, man. The Here are the 15 of the biggest games that we didn't didn't really see anything of during the summer showcases. How about that? Get your crap together, Games Radar. God of War Ragnarok. We didn't see anything from God of War Ragnarok, but we did get a definite date. So I'm not going to put much stock into this one. We're going to see something come out about God of War Ragnarok. God of War Ragnarok has a release date of November of this year. So We're going to see some stuff very soon. We just didn't get anything yet. Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. Yep. Now we've also heard this is supposed to be releasing kind of around the same time that the new movie is, right? So the film is supposed to be coming out, yes, December of 2022. We've still seen very little of the game. That's true. They're still saying it's on track to launch before the end of the fiscal year. Remember, like the fiscal year for like the gaming industry is from um, April 1st of one year through the end of March of the next year. Okay, so that means that they're saying Avatar could still come out. It is slated to come out before April of 2023. Everybody's thought is that it's supposed to be releasing around the same time as the movie. This game has been in development for quite a while, though. Bioshock 4. I'm not surprised we didn't see anything from Bioshock 4, though. This is, yeah, we've read things about it, but I mean, from what we've come to understand, I don't even really expect Bioshock 4 until like the end of 2023, the beginning of 2024. So I'm not real surprised about that. Outer Worlds 2, solid showing of Starfield was almost guaranteed at the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase. That's exactly what we got. Perhaps spotlighting another space set role player risked taking the shine of the headliner, but we nevertheless expected something from Obsidian's The Outer Worlds 2. Yeah, there's another one we missed from Obsidian too. Following the original 2019 ARPG, the sequel looks set to evolve the same open-ended exploratory vibes the developer captured so well in Fallout New Vegas, and is surely one of the most anticipated games of its kind at present. Its absence from its absence from the summer showcases was a surprise, even if The Outer Worlds 2 is still in early development. Senua's Saga 2, yeah, Hellblade 2. Yeah, it's likely still a ways away. I mean, at least with this one, we did get stuff last summer though, so we know that we've seen gameplay. Even we've seen gameplay of this, so I'm not. excuse me, I'm not. Goodness, I'm not that worried about Hellblade 2. I think they're still a little ways away, but what we have seen in the game, it looks amazing, and I cannot wait to play it. So I'm not that worried about Senua Saga. Creative Assembly's new FPS. The game that continues to have no name or, well, just about anything else. We do know that Creative Assembly, they of Alien Isolation fame, among many other hits, is working on a mysterious sci-fi FPS game that was first teased in the early stages of last year. After missing the 2021 showcases, an appearance in some capacity seemed likely ahead of uh, this season's showcase. I can't believe they keep referring to this as E3. But it wasn't to be. No showing at Sony's State of Play, nothing at Summer Games Fest, and absolutely not at the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase. A clean sweep bingo card of no shows. Given space horror appears very popular at the moment, Creative Assembly's secret project wouldn't have been out of place, but maybe that means it'll stand out more whenever it does show itself. Contraband. One of 2021's most mysterious reveals, Contraband showed us very little when it appeared on our radars last year. In development by Just Cause Studio Avalanche, Contraband is a co-op open world game that's set in the fictional country of Bayan, Smuggler's Paradise, in the heart of the 1970s. Beyond that, there's hardly an abundance of information out there on what the game's really about, which made an appearance at this year's summer showcases seem at the very least possible. It didn't happen, which means Contraband remains shrouded in mystery for now. Indiana Jones. Okay. Same team responsible for Wolfenstein 2. Massive Games is working on an official Indiana Jones game. It was first teased in January of 2021. Given the fact it's been several years since the studio's last release, the very same Wolfenstein 2 we thought might have seen something indie related at the Xbox and Bethesda game showcase. We still haven't seen anything yet, though. Project 007. And what we can only describe as a match made in heaven, Hitman developer IO Interactive is actively working on a James Bond game, currently boasting the working title Project 007. The quality of old school spy games has dipped somewhat in recent years, but given the fact Hitman is essentially James Bond with a bald protagonist, this one appears in safe hands. Details are still thin on the ground at present, with the latest snippet of new information being the fact that it did not appear over the course of our summer showcases this year, which is, of course, a real shame. Slitterhead. Yeah, dude, Slitterhead looks like it's going to be wild. Revealed during last year's Game Awards, it was perhaps a little too soon to see more of Slitterhead. Yeah. The in-development horror game directed by none other than Kichiro Toyama, the creator of Silent Hill. Still, that reveal was the teasiest of teasers, which could have paved the way for something more concrete over the course of this summer's showcases. It didn't much to the chagrin of horror aficionados like myself. And while there were plenty of other scare-em-ups on show to appease the frightful fans among us, Scorn was perhaps the closest to this one during the Xbox and Bethesda Games event. Scorn, baby. Atomic Heart 2. Yeah, I was really looking to see more about this during the showcases that just happened and didn't really see anything. Atomic Heart. We've been waiting for this one for a long time. Often described as a Soviet-inspired Bioshock, Atomic Heart has been baffling us as to what it actually is since 2017. Whatever it is, it looks cool. And while not an Xbox exclusive, it is confirmed to be a Game Pass title at launch. Right? Play it day one on Game Pass. After giving us its most thorough showing at last year's showcases, seeing more this year wasn't beyond the realms of possibility. That said, developer Mundfish is based in Russia, and amid the ongoing unrest in Eastern Europe, the studio has been understandably quieter in recent months than it otherwise might have been. Atomic Heart's most recent trailer mentions a fall 2022 release date. Whether this is or isn't the case will likely be made clear in the coming weeks. Replaced first showed its hand during last year's God, why are they doing this? Last year's showcases, making a great impression in the process, with 2D sprites, side-scrolling across industrial 3D backdrops, brutal shootouts, claustrophobic environments, and an unshakably moody grunge meets cyberpunk-like tone. Replaced looks incredible, and it's certainly one to watch for the future. Replaced is set to launch on Game Pass, and while it had been great to see more at this summer's showcases, its developer is another working in the shadow of war. Sad Cat Studio, hailing from Belarus. Understandably, the studio is putting the well-being of its employees first, and has likewise been keeping prospective players up to speed with the game's ongoing development. Dead Space. Much anticipated Dead Space, yeah. It would have been cool to see something new about this. Is due in January of next year. A release date that was confirmed just last month. Developer Motive is developing the Dead Space remake using EA's proprietary Frostbite engine, and to be fair to the studio, has done a good job of keeping would-be players up to date throughout the development process. Still, we haven't seen, well, pretty much anything of the action horror game in motion, given how space horror leaning this summer's showcases were overall. More from the Dead Space remake on stage would have worked a treat. Alas, we did not see more, meaning we'll likely see something bigger and more focused in the coming months. Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, we don't really need to see anything, right? Because with Hod Toward working on Elder Scrolls 6, everything will just work, right, guys? So it's not a big deal. Perhaps the absence of Elder Scrolls 6 from this summer's showcases wasn't the biggest surprise, given just how, I mean, we're still like, what, 2024 away, I think, from this one. Given just how integral Starfield was to the Xbox and Bethesda's game showcase. But it'd have been nice to have been shown something, right? Starfield, to be fair, is Bethesda's first new series for 25 years and due at the tail end of the year. It made sense for the publisher to share more information on its 1,000 planets and century of solar systems. Hard to say at this stage how much, if anything, there is to show of Elder Scrolls 6, but given it was announced way back in the summer of 2018 and a Wii cinematic teaser trailer wouldn't have gone amiss. Yeah. Payday 3, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see some Payday 3. Payday 3 may not have topped many most expected lists ahead of E3, but as announced ahead of... they're driving me crazy. Ahead of this summer's showcases, since E3 didn't happen this year and hasn't over really the past 3 years, but as announced ahead of last year's showcase, this heist 'em up shooter is due to land in 2023. How Starbreeze plans to evolve its forerunner, Payday 2, some 10 years on, remains to be seen, but the developer has said it plans to push the games as a service model that's now ubiquitous in modern gaming. In turn, Starbreeze says additional content and functionalities are planned for long beyond the original release date. As announced in October 2021, Payday 3 will be set in New York City and sees the return of the first game's cast of characters, Dallas, Hoxton, Chains, and Wolf. Dude, Payday 2 is so much fun. I can't wait for the third one. Joe Donnelly. Yo, get your crap together, Joe Donnelly. E3 didn't happen for like basically the past 3 years. Yet you keep referring to it. The more I do the news, the more I see these writers getting things wrong. I see bad writing, and I see bad editing in these articles all the time. And that's coming from somebody that is like known in this channel as an English pleb, even with it being my first language. So I don't know what's going on across these places of news and but it's just on the constant, dude. Just bad writing and no editing and whatever. It's really concerning. They're just like pumping out all this info without looking at anything or proofreading. It's like what is going on, dude? The blockchain game sees a drop in users and volume after strong performance in May. Blockchain games have seen a drop in the number of users and trading volume over the past 30 days after delivering strong results in May. Top 3 blockchain-based games in terms of users, Alien Worlds, Axie Infinity, and Splinterlands, have seen a 12%, 37%, and 9% drop, respectively, in the number of unique wallet addresses interacting with the games over the past 30 days, according to data by DAP Radar. The trading volume across Alien Worlds and Axie Infinity has also fallen sharply, dropping around 73% and 60%, respectively. Meanwhile, in total, more than 805,000 users interacted with blockchain games on June 21st, compared to 1.25 million on May 21st, according to DAP Radar. Likewise, the trading volume across blockchain games was around US 6.98 million on June 21st, compared to US 19.8 million on May 21st, which represents a drop of around 65%. Crypto has just dipped hugely. The downturn in blockchain gaming comes after the industry delivered strong results in May, defying the bear market. According to a report by DAP Radar, blockchain games fiercely defied the bear market expectations in May, with sustained growth and little to no drop in the number of users. Blockchain games are the vertical keeping pace up for the entire industry in a harsh bear season, blasting the market. The report said, adding that blockchain games have, quote, confirmed their status as the blockchain vertical that is better navigating the bear season. More specifically, 1.15 million daily unique active wallets interacted with blockchain games like Splinterlands, Illuvium, and Grit on average in May, decreasing only 5% from the previous month. Um, There has also been a consistent amount of capital flowing into the blockchain gaming industry since May. 1.4 billion US has been raised by Web3 games and related metaverse projects. Another term I hate right now. Metaverse. In total, US 4.9 billion has been poured into the industry so far this year. Quote, blockchain gaming is proving to be a true survivor during this bear market. DAP Radar concluded, we are on the cusp of finally seeing a good amount of blockchain games that truly immersive game mechanics that take entertainment to the next level. Of course they're going to say that. We'll see. Right now they're suffering. So, moving on. I'm so sketched out by most of the blockchain, crypto based economy games and stuff. PlayStation is the latest company to confirm it will not attend Gamescom. So far, only a handful of publishers have publicly confirmed they'll attend the German Expo. In a statement issued to German publication Games Wirtschaft, a spokesperson for the PlayStation firm confirmed it would not attend this year's event, which is due to take place in August and will be its first in-person show since the pandemic. Other companies, including Nintendo, Activision Blizzard, and Take-Two Interactive, have said they will not attend. I mean, no surprise here, right? Activision Blizzard has literally not been going anywhere, attending anything, because they're trying to stay out of the any kind of limelight, any kind of potential situation where anybody can be interviewed, really, you know. They will not attend Gamecom's return. Gamecom's organizers claim that over 250 companies will attend this year's event, but at the time of writing, only a handful of major publishers, including Bandai Namco, THQ Nordic, and Koch Media, have publicly confirmed. VGC understands that one issue is that many publishers have simply stopped planning pre-release game demos since the pandemic, such as those made available at events like Gamescom, and thus would have little to show at a big public show. Gamescom 2022 is set to take place from August 24th through 28th and will be a hybrid event held on site in Cologne and simultaneously online. The event will launch with Gamescom opening night live on August 23rd. It will then open for trade visitors, press, and content creators on August 24th, ahead of 4 days of public access for ticket holders, on top of the main business and entertainment areas of the convention. Gamescom 2022 also promises additional sections, including for cosplay, retro, and indie fans. Cool. Yo, I need to bring that one article back up. Um, was it 15, 10? I'll have to find it. I'll have to find it again. It'll be my history. Uh, Wait, it's glitching? What do you mean? How? What's going on? Skull and Bones release finally looks likely following second rating board listing. Um, Ubisoft's much delayed pirate game Skull and Bones has been rated again, adding further credence to the possibility it could finally release soon. As spotted by a Reddit user, the Ubisoft Singapore title now has been rated in Brazil, following a similar rating in South Korea last month. However, unlikely the previous rating, which only covered PC, the Brazilian board has approved Stadia, PS5, and Xbox Series XS versions of Skull and Bones. Did you look online to see what might be the issue? Usually, especially with a game that old, if there's Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I remember a few quests even that were pretty vague, even that were like in my quest log playing the game, and I was like, where am I supposed to be getting this done at? You know, and it took me a while to figure it out for some of the quests. Not that that's what you're dealing with, but I remember a little bit of that. But overall, okay. As a whole, I mean, I really, really, really enjoyed that game. Again, I don't think there's any game out there I've ever played that wasn't without its share of quirks and maybe a bug here and there, you know. So, but for me, it was very enjoyable playthrough overall. Uh, the rating represents further potential evidence that the long in development title could finally be approaching a launch date, nearly 10 years after development is understood to have begun. Oh, yeah, I forgot you told me about that. Who knows, man? Maybe we get lucky again. There have been other potential signs the game could be nearing completion, most notably via a leaked Skull and Bones video in April, which provided an overview of what players can expect. According to the 6-minute video, the game is set in a world inspired by the Indian Ocean during the golden age of piracy. Players begin their journey as an underdog whose goal is to become the most infamous pirate to sail the seas. Skull and Bones was first revealed by Ubisoft at E3 2017, with a release date set for the end of 2018. It was then delayed to 2019, then March 2020, then the fiscal year ending March 2022, then the fiscal year ending March 2023. Then last month, Ubisoft said the long delayed game will be released during the second half of its current fiscal year ending on March 31st, 2023. And it recently said that the title is now multiplayer first. Okay. This is just the E3 2017 trailer, so I'm not going to watch that. But by the end of the fiscal year, apparently, we'll see. If you want to put much stock into that over how long it's been now that we keep getting dates and keep getting those dates pushed back, you know what I mean, for that game. This Scottish cycle lane is harder than any video game. It's real world Paperboy, and I'm here to celebrate that. Look at this. What? Check it out. It is. That's great. There's a street in Edinburgh, Scotland, that offers a real life version of Paperboy's zigzag cycling routes, and I'm here to celebrate it for just that. As part of the city's 253 million US project, or what is this, $207 million pound project that runs trams through the famous road, a new section of cycle lane has been put in, which, as a recently tweeted video shows, offers quite the forbidding challenge. While there has been ridicule of the Scottish cycle route since it was officially opened in April, it's not until you see Dave McGraw's video of the absolutely bat crazy design that you can truly design or truly appreciate the video game like layout to the whole thing. There's so much that's so special in here. Let's watch this real quick. This is awesome. Jump it. Oh, you gotta jump it, dude. They need ramps. They need ramps right there. This is actually awesome. Look at this. Yo, get out of the way, dude. You're in the bike lane. That's actually great. Oh, he's got to ramp that too, right? Ramp that. Oh, feels bad. There's so much that's so special here. Like any good game, the lane doesn't just have an excellent zigzag pattern to learn, but it comes with all manner of obstacles too. There are those enormous planters poking into the lane to be avoided, and indeed lampposts sticking out of the track on the other side. As you'll likely have noticed, the design is such that your bike will have to negotiate multiple other lanes, including sidewalks, pavements, as they're called pavements. Pavements. They're called pavements. As you violently swerve left and right to try to keep up with increasingly difficult directions. Sadly, the NPC AI looks pretty terrible. That's hilarious. as they wander nonchalantly down the cycle lane, even when you hurtle rapidly toward them. A lot of improvement is required in this respect. I think my favorite feature is the supermarket exit that spills out directly into the bike lane, because they make it harder for all players by removing the cycle lane texture entirely. The surface is extremely bumpy with camera stabilization turned off. Oh, wow, dude, look at that. Wow. This is my official call for a special gathering to be arranged on this very site in 2024 to mark the 40th anniversary of Paperboy's initial release. Dude, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. This is hilarious because I was just talking about I don't even remember what brought it up in the news segment about 3 or 4 days ago, but I was like, yo, who remembers Paperboy? Who remembers Paperboy? Yeah, dude. That's great. How great is that? That's funny, man. Activision Blizzard shareholders vote for public harassment report. Um, Activision Blizzard shareholders approved a proposal from New York State Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli requesting the company publicly report on its efforts to stop workplace discrimination and harassment during an annual meeting held Tuesday. DiNapoli's proposal, first raised in February, requested that Activision Blizzard share information including compensation data, the company's total number of sexual harassment settlements, its progress around more quickly resolving harassment and abuse complaints, and total pending complaints. The vast majority of shareholders also approved the election of 10 directors to the board, despite a minority of shareholders advocating against the re-election of directors, including embattled CEO Bobby Kotick, as well as long-standing members Brian Kelly and Robert Morgado. Shareholders also voted to approve the company's executive compensation packages with 88% voting yes. DiNapoli, the state comptroller, told the Washington Post in a statement, shareholders majority vote spoke loudly. Activision Blizzard needs to restore investor confidence and increase transparency on how it handles workplace harassment and discrimination. We expect swift action from the company on our concern. Last Thursday, the video game company released an update saying that after an internal investigation, it found no evidence suggesting. Yeah, we read about this. Activision Blizzard reported their findings on their own investigation that they conducted on themselves. Suggested that Activision Blizzard senior executives ever intentionally ignored or attempted to downplay the instances of gender harassment that occurred and were reported. It also said investigators had not found any evidence that a senior executive or employee concealed information from the board of directors. The report affirmed that there were some substantiated instances of gender harassment, but cleared senior leadership and the board of directors from association with those incidents. This was a result of their own investigation on themselves. A proposal to nominate an employee representative to the board of directors, a request that was backed by organizing employees, was denied, with only 5% voting in favor. At Tuesday's shareholder meeting, a recording from an employee at Activision-owned Raven Software was played, asking that an employee be appointed to the board after being voted in democratically by non-leadership. Bless you. The employee asked to help make the board more aware of employee concerns. Shareholders approved of hiring PricewaterhouseCoopers as Activision's accounting firm, with 96% voting yes. PricewaterhouseCoopers did not immediately return a request for comment. Shareholders didn't ask questions, and the meeting concluded after roughly 20 minutes. Quote, it is clear to me from these voting results that shareholders do not see the need to incur any meaningful changes to the operational structure other than collaborating with the NYS comptroller, said Joost Van Drunen, a lecturer on the business of games at the New York University Stern School of Business. The outright rejection of allowing an employee rep on the board sends a signal that they are not ready for true change. Yeah, the only chance to resolve Activision Blizzard's endemic issues will be once it assumes Microsoft's playbook post-acquisition. It is a missed opportunity to lead from the top. Yep, for sure. On June 13th, Microsoft, which is acquiring Activision Blizzard for nearly 69 billion US in a deal pending regulatory approval, announced a labor neutrality agreement with the Union Communications Workers of America, which has been helping video game workers organize. Activision Blizzard announced Friday it was entering bargaining negotiations with a group of Raven software quality assurance testers. Those testers have spent months demanding recognition of their union, the Game Workers Alliance, which is supported by the CWA. What a terrible place, dude. Holy crap. They just can't help themselves at all, can they? This is not a political channel. I don't like getting into politics. It is inevitable to an extent because a lot of what the world, revolves around is politics. But I don't like to get into it too deep. We're going to take a bit of a look at this article, and we'll see where it goes. Ted Cruz is a microtransaction whale. I've never heard Republican economic policy summarized so succinctly. Senator Ted Cruz is a man who, were I to list all his political and moral shortcomings, would be detaining you for hours. He is also, like most of us, someone who plays video games, and how he plays them will not be a surprise to anyone. Here's a little excerpt from the latest episode of Cruz's own podcast, which he runs with co-host Michael Knowles. This tweet, let's see. Ted says he is a gamer and reveals his strategy. You can buy in-game items and make your character stronger or get advantages. I'll confess I buy it because it's a lot more fun if suddenly your character has a lot of great stuff that would take you 6 to 12 months to build up. That clip and quotes above are missing a bit of the conversation. The actual segment from his podcast runs a little longer, and Cruz says in full, I've removed a little bit where they go off topic. Video games are designed to be addictive. Now, I'm something of a gamer. I'm not a gamer like hardcore Twitch streamers, and I don't do the massive multiplayer games. I don't like it when you can buy in-game items and sort of make your character stronger or get advantages. Now, I'll confess, when I play some games, I'll sometimes buy it because it is more fun if suddenly your character has a lot more great stuff that it would take you 6 months or a year to build up. So sometimes I'll spend $20 and buy a treasure chest full of coins because then I can spend them to get cool things in the game. As one reply to the above tweet says, I've never heard Republican economic policy summarized so succinctly. God, I can't speak right now. For the record, while this looks like a speed run through the definition of hypocrisy, something the senator is no stranger to. For context, the clip is actually part of the longer conversation where Cruz is basically saying that while he will spend money in order to get to the front of the line faster, he thinks having stuff like loot boxes in games aimed at kids is a very bad idea. Yeah, I mean, again, we've talked about this a lot, and I think as a whole, it's a bad thing for the video game. For us as gamers, it's a very bad thing. The way these scummy corporations of trying to suck as much money out of people as possible. Microtransactions, pay to win, pay to play. Mostly, pay to win is just a very, very scummy way to try to suck money out of people, and it does target very vulnerable people, quite often youth. And I understand that to an extent there are going to be people that want to pay money to try to get things done faster because they don't have an excessive amount of time to spend in a game to grind out some of those things, right? And that's where I think there's a big difference between what we talk about this quite often, right? Like, pick the difference between a game like Lost Ark and a game like Diablo Immortal, right? Where Lost Ark, you can get everything done in the game free to play, or you can pay money if you want to get things done quicker. As opposed to a game like Diablo Immortal, where you're not going to be able to progress if you don't pay, right? And I think that's the big difference. Where we need to really look at trying to draw the line and trying to do away with a lot of the real scummy stuff where it can be done in a very player friendly way where everybody wins, right? Whether you be a free to play player or whether you want to spend money, it can be done in a way that's very successful, and it's beneficial to everybody that wants to play the game, no matter what your financial situation is. And then there's just the way that's very bad, and the prime example right now is Diablo Immortal, where the only people that can play the game and enjoy the game are people that have excess amounts of money, significant excess amounts of money. Anybody else that wants to play the game and enjoy it to the full extent cannot, and that feels terrible. Feels terrible. Racing driver uses N-word in online game and is suspended. Should have been immediately fired. Red Bull Racing fields 2 cars at the highest level of global motorsports. Their operation competes via F1. Watch the Yuri Vips video below. Red Bull Racing also has a junior development program. Yuri Vips is signed to the Red Bull Racing Development Ladder System. The 21-year-old from Estonia has climbed the ranks from karting to Formula 2. Vips has 43 starts in the Formula 2 series. He's claimed 2 wins and 10 podium finishes along the way. Earlier today, Vips used the N-word during an online game. The moment was screen recorded and can be heard below. In 2020, NASCAR driver Kyle Larson used the word in similar fashion during an online race. He was suspended by NASCAR and his team. He eventually lost his ride as a result. Good. Red Bull Racing statement. Red Bull Racing has suspended junior driver Yuri Vips from all team duties with immediate effect pending a full investigation into the incident. As an organization, we condemn abuse of any kind and have a zero tolerance policy to racist language or behavior within our organization. Yuri's statement. I wish to unreservedly apologize for the offensive language used during a live gaming stream earlier today. Vips opened in a statement posted to social media. This language is entirely unacceptable and does not portray the values and principles that I hold, or it absolutely does. I deeply regret my action, and this is not the example I wish to set. He concluded, I will cooperate with the investigation fully. And it is when these individuals do this kind of thing and they realize, oh, I'm going to lose everything in my life. I'm going to lose my career. I'm going to lose my money. They become very sorry, right? It's not the fact that they're actually sorry about what it means for what they've done, right? They're sorry about what they're going to lose. Is really what it's about. Yeah. Everybody makes mistakes, man. That is not lost on me. Everybody makes mistakes. And sometimes you have to learn some very hard lessons through mistakes. That's life. But the important thing is that you learn from your mistakes and you grow into a better person. And this is potentially going to be a very, very hard lesson. This is, I mean, at 21 years old, this is not a kid, right? This is not a kid. This is a 21-year-old person, adult, 21-year-old adult. And ultimately, there's no room for it. And as far as I'm concerned, Red Bull should be, if after the investigation has concluded, if this individual did actually use that racist term, should absolutely be fired. And if anybody else picks him up, I'll be very surprised. It's not that I don't think people deserve second chances, but a lesson needs to be learned right here. And examples need to be made to an extent, as far as I'm concerned, so that this kind of thing doesn't continue to happen. There's no place for it in the world. We've got to get out of this this mindset of just hate speech and bigotry and discrimination, because we're inherently different than one another as human beings. It's terrible. It's the thing that makes us great as human beings. We're different. The world would be a very, very boring place if we were all the same. How much would life suck if we were all the same? Yet people want to just spread anger and hate and because somebody's different than them, and there's just no room for it. There's no room for it, and it's going to be a hard lesson. It's going to be a hard lesson, but one deservedly needed for this individual. Gotham Knights features the biggest video game version of Gotham City ever made. Expect a dense, layered, and crime-filled urban sprawl. WB Montreal's upcoming DC Superheroes game, Gotham Knights, will feature the largest version of the iconic Gotham City that's ever been seen in a video game. In an interview with Game Informer, game director Jeff Eleanor was asked how Gotham Knights' version of DC's flagship city compared to the open-world Gotham scene in Batman Arkham Knight. I think Thibault's actually napping right now. I think he might be hanging out, but I think he's napping. Yeah, he said he needed to take a nap. It's pretty big, said Eleanor. I've put one map over the other, but our Gotham is a big place. Executive producer Fleur Marty added, for sure it's the biggest version of Gotham that has been represented in video games. The most important thing for us is its density and verticality. Has a lot of layers. The Bat Cycle is the long-range mode of transportation. Okay. Arkham Knight's map was approximately 5 square kilometers and made up of 3 islands and multiple districts. The sprawling size of Gotham was made possible by the inclusion of the Batmobile, which helped you travel across its huge landmass at speed and in style. Gotham Knights may not have a Batmobile, but it does have the Bat Cycle and other travel mechanics. Be that the fast Bat travel system or items like Nightwing's Fly Trapeze Glider. Okay. So expect Gotham Knights to have a much larger Gotham City than even Arkham Knight had. The other Batman games. Crazy, man. All right, cool. Here you go for our Game Pass subscribers. All right. Xbox has revealed the games coming to its Game Pass service in the next couple of weeks. Out today are the Shadowrun trilogy. We knew that was coming on cloud and console, and Total War 3 Kingdoms on PC. The former is a cyberpunk tactical RPG series, while the later is a Chinese take on the multi-award-winning strategy series. Then 23rd of June brings 2 more titles, FIFA 2022 and mythical action game Naraka Blade Point. Later still, Far Cry 5 will be added on 1st of July. Already added to the service this month are nostalgic beat-em-up TMNT Shredder's Revenge, which I've heard great things about, and narrative game Amari. For Game Pass Ultimate users, 10 more games have been added, given touchscreen controls on compatible devices. That includes Bugsnax and Ninja Gaiden, Life is Strange, True Colors, and Broken Age. Lastly, the following games will leave the live service on 30th June. FIFA 20, Jurassic World Evolution, Last Stop, and MotoGP 20. There you know. There you know. There you go. Now you know. Didn't mean to do that. If you need more info, there's that article. Yeah. This is just a lot of stuff we already just read through, so I'm not going to go back through that. Okay. Last article I have pulled up for the morning. Okay. If anybody has anything else you want to talk about or share that maybe I'm not aware of, haven't pulled up today or gone over the past previous days, then a few days, then let me know in chat and I'll address before we wrap up the news segment here. Okay. Xbox Cloud Gaming is getting mouse and keyboard support and latency improvements. Microsoft is prepping to add mouse and keyboard support to its Xbox Cloud Gaming service that streams Xbox games to TVs, PCs, mobile devices, and more. The software giant teased the addition earlier this year, and now it's encouraging game developers to get ready for mouse and keyboard support and some big latency improvements on Xbox Cloud Gaming soon. Xbox, quote, Xbox has been supporting keyboard and mouse for a few years now, and we're working on adding it to streaming for PC users. Explains Morgan Brown, a software engineer on Microsoft's Xbox game streaming team. Quote, but you can start adding it to your game right now, and your console, keyboard, and mouse users will appreciate it. It will light up in streaming once we've finished adding it. Microsoft Flight Simulator boss Jorg Newman previously teased that the addition of mouse and keyboard support on Xbox Cloud Gaming could appear this summer, as Microsoft is encouraging developers to start thinking more about mouse and keyboard support for Xbox games streamed to PC. It's likely that we'll start to see this show up soon. It will allow Xbox Cloud Gaming users to stream Xbox games to not PC ones using a mouse and keyboard. We could see games like Sea of Thieves, Minecraft, Halo Infinite, and even Fortnite all support mouse and keyboard through Xbox Cloud Gaming. The list of Xbox games that support mouse and keyboard is still relatively small, though. It will be particularly useful when Microsoft expands the Xbox Cloud Gaming library later this year. Alongside mouse and keyboard support, Microsoft is also offering developers more ways to improve streaming latency in their games. Microsoft has been working on a new display details API, which can save up to 72 milliseconds of latency overall. This is achieved by using direct capture, which reproduces hardware features in software to eliminate the wait time for VSync and double or triple buffering, and even the scaling need for TVs. Scale and artifacts all add extra latency to game streaming, and many games already support direct capture to improve their performance on Xbox Cloud Gaming. Latency can drop to as low as 2 to 12 milliseconds compared to 8 to 74 milliseconds through the traditional display pipeline. There are some limitations, though. Direct capture only supports a maximum resolution of 1440p and doesn't support dynamic resolution or HDR just yet. The resolution limitation won't be an issue for most game developers right now, as Xbox Cloud Gaming scales games down to 720p on mobile and 1080p on PC and the web. Microsoft does eventually expect to support higher resolutions, but then there's no timeline on 1440p or 4K support for the new Xbox TV app. Quote, that's something that we expect will change over time based on different devices, network conditions, and improvements to the streaming stack, explains Brown. Tools will be available for developers soon to test their games and find out how to support direct capture. The latency improvements are key for game streaming services like Xbox Cloud Gaming, and as direct capture shows, it's not all about just reducing network latency. NVIDIA launched its RTX 3080 GeForce Now tier last year with impressive latency improvements. NVIDIA built its own adaptive sync technology, which varies the game rendering to match a synchronous monitor and allows GeForce Now to sync streamed games to any 60Hz or 120Hz monitor. NVIDIA's adaptive sync also reduces some buffering between the CPU and GPU on the server side. And the end result is some impressive latency improvements over what's available from Google Stadia or Xbox Cloud Gaming. NVIDIA even claims to beat an Xbox Series X running locally at 60 frames per second thanks to its 120 frames per second GeForce Now support. All right, there we go. Cool. Cool. The more you know. All right, I think that's it for the news. As always, thank you to everybody for being part of the news segment who's here live, and to everybody who's part of our community on the Constant. You all are amazing, and I appreciate it very much. If you are viewing this news segment as a VOD on YouTube, then see what you can do about potentially coming out and hanging with us at 6 a.m. CST every single day, where we start up all of our streams first thing with the video game news segment, okay? Also, if you're enjoying the content, consider hitting that like and subscribe button and potentially leave me a comment so we can have a bit of a discussion regarding some of these articles that we went over today, all right? Other than that, just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we will catch everybody for tomorrow for June 23rd's edition of Video Gaming News, all right?